Okay, so in this video, I'm going to be doing a bit of a deep dive into the awareness content strategy that I'm currently using and I teach my clients with LinkedIn and exactly how you can start using it as well. So first thing first, when thinking about the goal of content, we really want to think about the one person, the one problem, the one solution we're trying to speak to. Because if you trying to target multiple people, multiple problems, multiple solutions in each piece of content, then the messaging is going to get very spread and the actual impact the content can have is not going to be as good. So, what is the awareness content strategy? Well, really, what I tend to think of, right? Because when I think about my audience, obviously, not all of my audience is ready to buy, right? They're in different positions. Some people are more ready to buy, like they sort of know what they need to do. They just need to find something that works. Other people are, maybe a bit more unaware. So, I really categorize it into these three stages. We have people that are problem unaware. We have people that are problem aware and people that are solution aware. And the whole focus of this is that if we can create content that helps these people get one step closer to where they want to be, then we'll be the top of mind to help them solve their problems, right? So if we can help people go from problem unaware to aware, or even aware to solution aware, then obviously we're going to be top of mind. So, problem unaware. So, these are basically people that have a desire, a goal that will change their life, and has a problem that's preventing them from getting there. However, they have no clarity on the problem that they face, and they have no clarity on the solution to the problem. So, what we want to do with this content is we want to highlight the problem they're unaware of. We want to share how this prevents them from getting to where they want to be. We want to clarify the impact that this has on people like them. And we want to ensure that we become their next step to fixing this. So, for example, like for content, right? This could be the sense of, okay, well, the unaware problem that, say, my audience unaware of is that they're not using content to drive or at least using content to drive revenue, to get leads, to help drive revenue, right? So, for me to make them aware of this problem, I could actually share an industry case study. Obviously, Alex Ramosi, who spent maybe who spent like $4 million on content last year for his business and generated about sort of $12 million plus in return, right? Because what this does is that this makes people who aren't using content to realize that content is actually something that's going to help them generate revenue, which effectively makes them feel like they should be using content, aka raises the problem of I'm not using content, this is the problem, right? And then again, right, for example, if we were like even just talking about, say, like an executive, right? Here's another example. Let's say they're unaware of actually how lack of energy is due to, say, how healthy executives are, as opposed to just lack of energy being a problem with sleep. Then a way to aware, like a way effectively a racist awareness might be to address the misconception with sleep, say, being the only factor in energy levels, and how healthy you are plays a big part, for example, right? And what this does is that this makes, well, in this case, executives who say maybe just blame bad sleep for the low energy levels to realize that their current health and maybe diet and such might also be the problem, which means that it raises the problem of, say, their health impacting the energy level as opposed to just sleep. And so, really, what you can do with this now is that what I want you to do is I want you to, like, obviously get an idea of who your ideal client is, and basically have a table similarly laid out to this. I want you to effectively jot down what are the misconceptions that your ideal client has around, the like effectively like what you help them do and the problem that, or at least what the desire that they want. What are the industry trends that are relevant to it? What are industry case studies, or perhaps even a few things about your personal journey? Because if you can make some points here, this is really going to help you create more problem unaware content. So then we have problem aware content. Now, problem aware content is really for people that have a desire or goal to change their life, have the problem that preventing them from getting there, and they have clarity on the problem that they face, but they still don't have clarity on the solution to the problem. So what do we want to do here? Well, what we want to do, we want to call out the problem that they face, right? Because this is obviously something that's going to naturally hook them in. We want to then resonate with their pains and fears in relation to this. We want to share the solutions or even actionable steps to help them with this, and we want to ensure that we become their next step fixing this. So, for example, if I was to talk about content, right? So, let's say the actual problem is, hey, content is not generating consistent leads, right? It's not working, right? The pain or fear here that my ideal clients are thinking of is, oh, well, what if I'm wasting my time on content? And so the solutions here, or at least in my opinion, would be to create content that solves problems, to target the three stages of awareness content system, which I'm obviously talking about, and content that speaks to one individual, right? And obviously here I make it very clear on the desired outcome that they want, which is getting consistent leads from content, meaning they can spend less time gaining more. Because by having this all together, I can effectively make problem aware content that is relevant to them, right? It's relevant to them because I'm speaking to their pains and fears. I'm giving them actionable stuff or even some solutions, and I'm making sure it's relevant to their desired outcome. And similarly, right, if we went back to the whole like executive example, let's say the problem is low energy and sort of like mental clarity when they work, that pain or fear could be, hey, well, what if this affects my performance in the workplace, right? So that's obviously one example. Solutions, could be improved diet, sleep, exercise, and then obviously the desired outcome, having higher energy level and mental clarity so they can turn up and perform their best, right? So you can see obviously, like even with these examples, the reason why I'm doing these already just in different niches it's just because you can see that spread across. Now, when you're going to create problem aware content, usually I will recommend a sort of like a table like this, where effectively you're going to jot out the topics or the core problems that your ideal client is facing with. You want to then actually have, the pain or fear that they have in relation to that, the solutions relevant to that, and then the desired outcomes. Because if you can fill this in, and not to say that it just has to be 4 topics, it can be less, it can be more, whatever's relevant. Because this means that when you are creating problem aware content, you can very clearly see, okay, I want to talk about this problem, I want to call out this pain or fear, I want to mention these solutions, and this is the desired outcome they want. So it's very clear to them. So then we have solution aware. Now, a solution aware is effectively where they have a desirable goal that will change their life. They have a problem preventing them getting there. They have clarity on the problem they face, and they have clarity on the solution to the problem. Right. So these people are very much aware and really, really just know the problem they face and what needs to be done. So, what do we want to do here? Well, we want to share a desired result that they want to achieve that you had or a client had. Now, this can be, say, in the form of like a case study or whatever, or it could even just be a testimonial of them saying how you have helped them. Or, obviously, if you're sharing your own results, then obviously showing that as well. That's really the first thing. Then we want to be able to resonate with their struggles in achieving this because we want to make sure we can recognize that they have been putting in the work, but it hasn't been working, right? And just actually resonating with it and maybe talking about how your client had the same problems or how you had the same problems. Then you want to share how you help them achieve this plus proof. So if you can show a visual with this type of content, whether it be a screenshot of a client, sharing some good results, obviously you can blur out their name. Um, or maybe it's a case study, or maybe it's a testimonial, or it's a video testimonial, whatever it is, visually show that like the proof of it, because that way you're showing, not just telling, and it creates much more of an impact. And then lastly, obviously, we want to make sure we ensure that we become the next step to fixing this. So, for example, right, if I were to sort of do an example for, say, like myself, like as a LinkedIn example, if I wanted to show, say, revenue through LinkedIn, I might show, say, Stripe screenshots or even WhatsApp and Telegram screenshots. If I wanted to share, say, account growth, then I could obviously sort of like share LinkedIn analytics screenshots. If I wanted to share, say, booking more sales calls, I could obviously do that with, say, a screenshot of a book calendar through messages, upcoming calls, or even, I could even use sort of client messages and such if they're sharing theirs. And for example, if this was, say, in a different niche, like, for, say, like weight loss and executive and such, this could be, say, like losing weight or getting better shape. You often see the sort of side by side comparisons and telling them, hey, they're at this way and now they're at this way, right? Which obviously in this case is proof because you can literally see the difference. And if you want to do the same here, all you want to do is have a table out like this and just jot down those sort of desired results that your ideal client wants. And then from there, you're going to be able to obviously jot those down as well. So, a few other things that you might consider. Well, how much content should you be making? Well, really, the goal is we want to try to aim for around maybe 3,000 impressions a week because this is going to give us a bit of a better idea in terms of effectively just, that our content is at least, getting out there as well. And to do this, we can look to probably post around 5 times a week, Monday to Friday. Now, obviously, you can increase sort of posts, say 7 times a week if you're not getting around 3,000 impressions. And I usually like to spread out, as you can see at the bottom there, in terms of like different days in terms of what I'll focus on. So you'll see Monday, we have bottom of funnel, which is your solution aware people. You have Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, which is problem aware people, so middle of funnel. And then you have Wednesday, that's top of funnel for the problem unaware. So, should you use text, image, videos, and carousels? Well, you can obviously, with your content, you can obviously decide if that, like, what you want to use. Now, I wouldn't particularly place too much of an emphasis on needing to use a particular type. At the moment of recording this, a lot of people are pushing video and saying that video is, the next biggest thing. And obviously, each type of, content has its own, benefit to it. Now, for me, I usually encourage the use of images with posts just simply because it takes up more space on the feed when people scroll past it in comparison to, say, like a text post. So that's really the main thing. Obviously, carousels and videos take up more space, but those also take up more time and energy. So I find that images for posts often work quite well. And then obviously you want to make sure the images you include are still relevant to the topic. So for example, if you're sharing, say, your personal journey, so, the problem unaware, you might want to include an image, say, of yourself perhaps, or even the transformation you had. And let's say maybe you're trying to share, say, a problem your ideal clients face. So, we're talking problem aware people to middle of funnel. Then maybe you might share like share a screenshot of a text with a client who shared that problem. And obviously you might want to blur out the name, but it shows the proof of that and it's relevant to the topic you're talking about. Or perhaps let's say you're sharing a client result or transformation. So, problem aware, or at least, sorry, solution aware people, and that's bottom of funnel. Then you might want to include an image of the transformation or of a happy client, or any form of testimonial that shows the proof of that. So that's effectively that. Really, this is all I wanted to focus on in this video, because I find that if you can apply this content system and you can target not just people that are ready to buy and are aware of that sort of like problem and solution, but also the people that are problem aware but don't know the solution, and even people that are just problem unaware and just have a desire but just don't really know the problem that they're facing. If you can just help them get one step closer to where they want to be with it, you're going to find that it's going to be a lot easier for you to effectively just attract those people and build trust with them, and even just get more inbounds from it, right? Because the inbound leads you get shouldn't just come from your proof content, right? It shouldn't just come from the how I got this person this result. Sure, you should get some from that. However, you should also get leads coming in from your problem unaware and problem aware content as well, which means that no matter what content you put out, technically speaking, you should have the ability to get leads from any of it. Because I used to think that, oh, okay, well, I need to put out personal content, I need to put out this type of content, and then I need to put out sales content, right? But with this, you're able to effectively, help like each, or at least, each of the sort of areas of your audience get one step closer to where they want to be. So hopefully you found this useful, and if you're not already, I do actually help coaches that assign clients through LinkedIn, which you can join my community below. Alternatively, if you're interested in working with me directly, you can also book a chat below. But I hope you found this useful, and I'll chat soon.